Hi, I'm Jerome, residence expert at LTAsex.info. Welcome to Let's Talk About Sex, the show where we talk about sex. And today, we're talking about relationships with Paige Diamond. Now, I have to tell you, I'm really excited to have Paige on the show today. When I started LTA Sex, she was actually the first friend I made on Twitter. We finally sat down a couple days ago, and man, did we have a conversation. If you're familiar with Miss Diamond's work, you're gonna get that same straight talk, but if you're not, you're in for a treat. This interview has been a long time coming, so I'm not gonna hold you up. But before we get started, I just want to remind you guys to check out all my social media. Of course, you can always check out LTAsex.info for more sexy stuff like this. You can check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/LTAsexinfo. You can find me on Twitter at NotJeromeStewart. You can find LTA Sex on Tumblr at ltasex.tumblr.com. So without any further ado, here's my interview with Miss Paige Diamond. Thank you so much for joining us, Paige Diamond. How are you doing today?
I'm peaceful as usual, and yourself?
I'm doing really, really good, actually. I have to say, I'm very excited to have you on the show today.
I'm excited to be here. Long time overdue, right?
Right, because I have to be honest, you were my first sex blogger friend that I made, like, on Twitter. Yes, like... And you've been my longest friend, so it's been like, I started LTA Sex, like, 3 years ago, and then I think I started talking to you on Twitter, like, 2 or 3 months after that. Yeah, it's been a long time. It's been a really long time. So, I guess this visit is sort of fortuitous, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, so please introduce yourself to the people.
I am Paige Diamond. I'm known to probably the majority of the world as the hip-hop sexpert. I had PaigeDiamond.com, hiphopsexpert.com. I wrote for Don Diva magazine for Diva's Corner. I had a sex talk radio show, The Sensual Cypher, on Blog Talk. I'm also a success coach. I deal primarily with singles, as well as coaching for life planning, emotional intelligence, and success. So not only am I a sexpert, but I'm also a coach. So it makes it really interesting, and the reason why I did it that way is because if you have blockages in your sexuality, you have blockages everywhere. So I'm really, really big on, sexual liberation and being really, really responsible for your own sexuality and understanding it. And from there, everything else branches out. So that's basically me in that wasn't a nutshell, was it?
Oh, I mean, depending on the size of the nut,
Nuts can be massive. Yeah.
Okay, now, you also have written 2 books, right?
Oh, God, I've got that title. See, this is the problem with me. Like, I have too many titles. Yeah, I'm also an author. Thank you. Thank you for that. I wrote 2 books, Girl, Get Over Yourself, and also Dude, Get Over Yourself. They're, available on Google, the Google Store, Play Store, also on Nook, Kindle, Kobo, as well as PaigeDiamond.com, my website. So yeah, I'm actually an author now. Thank you.
Now, people, pay attention. That is how you promote things. Love it. Very good. Now, these 2 books, Girl and Dude, Get Over Yourself, are essentially guides to getting more sex, right?
Yeah, like having better sex. Like, we are constantly screwing up our sex lives, and we don't know it because we listen to who? Our friends that are just completely, they're a bit, little special in a sense. We've all had those talks with our friends, and you're like, what? What are you talking about? I've never heard of that before. So we kind of we're too in our head, I would say, sometimes, and a bit selfish, in a way where it prevents us from having, the greatest sex ever. So, yeah, it's really kind of like a reality check, a slap in the back of your neck, so to speak, in a book for people.
Well, you know what? I have to be honest with you. I think, even though I consider myself a sexpert, I think I'm one of those people who might need a slap in the back of the head.
I need a slap too sometimes. I won't tell you what I did last weekend. And I was like, I should have knew better than that.
You see, with me, I put work over everything, right? So, I haven't been on a date in I want to say like 2 years, something crazy. Like I haven't had sex in like a year and a half or something stupid. So like I feel like I need to start pushing my like romantic life forward instead of like just working all the time.
You have to have
But it's
balance.
hard. Yeah.
Balance.
It's kind of
So,
hard to get the balance though, because it like for the last bit I was in school, and then I got out of school, and I'm working on like a magazine, and this which is blowing up, which I'm very excited about. So it's been difficult. I just have to kind of you know what? Let me seek your wisdom. Do you have any tips for me, the busy young guy who can't get a date or can't find a date? Do you have any advice for me?
I don't even think it's that you can't find a date, or I just know you haven't made time. You haven't made yourself available for the opportunities to have that date because you're busy, 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 busy. So,
Yes.
I mean, I would say what I used to do because I can totally relate to that because I was miss. I'm not having a man until 32. I'm not even 30. I'll be 30 next month. Okay. I was like, I don't have time. I'm just so not there right now.
That's
I'm just
fair.
doing my
That is
thing.
fair.
Yeah, I'm building my business, building my empires. I'll get to that, later. And
Yeah.
then he came, and I was like, oh hell, you kind of early. You weren't supposed to be here right now. So like, I'm at his place right now.
Oh.
So, so it doesn't
Plans
necessarily
change.
happen on your clock. But you have
Yeah.
to make yourself available. Or what you do is you need to give yourself permission to let go. Meaning you need, me personally, I have three. I have three personal me days a week. The other 4 days
Okay.
I grind. So choose your three back to back. I do Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Don't bother me. I'm chilling. I'm doing my thing, and then the rest of the week is like, okay, boom, I'm on it. Give yourself permission to
Yeah.
do that, 3 days a week, just because you need that work-life balance. Go places, join some meetup groups. You never know, but if you're in the house all the time and you're work, 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 no one knows you're there. So you're really missing out on opportunities. So just treat yourself. Go and be the mysterious guy at the bar. Hell, screw it.
Now, you know what? That is true. And I have been sort of moving in that direction, sort of trying to get out of the house more. But I've just been, I don't know. I guess maybe hesitant is the word. But anyways, and is that the sort of like advice and information that you give out in Dude and Girl?
Well, duty girl is strictly sex.
Oh,
Strictly sex. So,
well, I mean, I
um,
want to know how to give me some dick, so you know.
strictly sex on dude and girls. So it's just because it really actually started from a blog. The books
Hmm.
was created from a blog, believe it or not. It was 10 Ways to Kill Your Sex Life for Women,
Hmm.
and I spun it into a book. The girl Get Over Yourself book, and then the guys were like, whoa, 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 what happened to my book? I'm like, okay, fine, I'll write you one too, not a problem. But I'm gonna do a singles life one and also a couples one as
Okay.
well because I think that we all men and women we think differently. We think differently. We move differently. And it doesn't matter if you are hetero, if you're homo, bi, whatever. It doesn't matter. Male and female think differently. You know what I'm saying? Period, point blank.
Yeah.
So I think we kind of like just have to delve into that and really kind of take ourselves out of the equation because I think the main problem with relationships and people, we don't
Hmm.
we, we don't come into our relationships to be of service to our partner. When you come in that stance, not okay, well, accounting, I did this for you, what you gonna do for me? Most people do their
Yeah.
relationships like that. I made you happy, so you have to make me happy.
Yeah. Real
No.
tit. Yeah.
Right. That's the problem. So, I think that, if you just come from actual stance of service and humbleness, like I'm with you because I want to be with you. I want to add to you, and I want, to help you. Now, of course, you choose how much you're going to add now. I'm not saying be crazy,
Right,
There
right.
should be some self-preservation coming in some kind of way.
Exactly.
But, the overall underlying thing is that, we all want someone to actually have companionship with that we know has our best interest at heart, period.
Right, right. And that goes back to, and I'm going to reference one of your YouTube videos if you didn't mention that in your little spiel earlier.
Damn.
Um, see? Um, you released a video back in January talking about being single and what single life really means, right?
Yes.
And now your message was essentially that, even though you're in a relationship, you still have to be a whole person within yourself, right?
Right, exactly.
And I know that that's something that I always tell people because I see that all the time, where you see the people where they're living their life and as an I, and then they start dating someone, and all of a sudden they're just a we, and we this and we that, and I can't go here without him, and da da da. And I'm just like, oh my God, what are you gonna do? Exactly. What kind of identity are you gonna have when you break up? You know what I mean?
We live in a world made for two. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be honest. We live in a world made for two. But at the same time, I think that what makes a relationship interesting is when you can come home to each other or call each other and you can share your day and be like, oh, this is what happened to me today. I went out, I did this, I did that. Not you don't have anything to talk about because you're like, you're stuck in their ass all the time. Excuse me, can I curse on this? Come on, have your own life. If you go bowling on Fridays with your friends, then that comes with a turf of you. When you get in a relationship, they need to know this is my friend day. Hey, this is what I do. Every month I go drink with my girls and we sit around and talk trash about men. That's what we do. Don't tell me I can't be around my friends because I'm not single anymore. I'm not unattached anymore.
Exactly. And you know what? I hate that too when guys will do that to women and they'll be like, you can't have your guy friends anymore or you can't hang out with this girl because she do da 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 da. And I'm like, are you his girlfriend or his property? Like, you need to be able to go out and experience your own life because he is not going to be your entire life and he shouldn't be your entire life.
I see it happen all the time. And then it's like when it's over, they've cut off family, they've cut off friends. Now they want to come in and beat everyone's face, and the rest of I'm like, oh, now you want to hang around and now you want to do things.
Now you want to say
stuff. Right. So yeah, it's not good. It's not cool. I always advise people, not to do that. I mean, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, absence makes the heart grow fonder, or you have to allow someone to miss you. I don't believe in that crap either. I think that, yes, yeah. I think that you should be around a person when you want to be around a person. Is when you don't want to be around their asses. That's when it's a problem. but you have to have your own life. You have to. It's a way that you can be attached, but still be single, still be an individual, and we have to learn how to do that as a society.
So let's talk Let's talk a little bit more about dating, okay? How is dating today? Because I remember when I was growing up, the dating tropes on TV, the first date, the first kiss, first, second, third base, blah, 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 blah. But I have to say, in my growing up, the basis thing was just non-existent. Like, I didn't even know what virginity was until after I lost it. Like, it was, I had a different way of doing things. So, like, a lot of these little, like, these dating things have, like, missed me as they sort of passed me by. So how is dating? Do people still actually do that?
Hell no, people don't date. That's the damn problem. That is the problem. They skip dating. Dating is a lost art, okay? It's damn near dead like chivalry, It's just like on its last leg. So serious. Because people aren't thoughtful. People don't take their time. It's like, it goes just like this, right? I meet you, meet me. You look good. You look good too. I smash. Okay, yeah, I'll smash you too. Okay. we have good conversation. Nothing too deep or anything, but we have good conversation. It's fun being around you. Good times.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I don't want anybody else to talk to you. I don't want anybody else to talk to you either. Okay, we're together now. Boom. That is how it goes. No
It's
one
just
dates. Hell no. They don't want to date you. Dating does not give any claim to you. Dating means I'm dating you, but I can also date other people. The opportunities are still there. People are so into possession. They want to have someone, or they want to be someone's woman or someone's man or partner or, mate so bad that they don't take the time to review options. My daddy always taught me, shop before you buy. I am very
Exactly.
pro review options. I don't think that anyone should. The first 6 months should be open season in most cases. At least 3 months. Where it's just like you're just really feeling this person out because sometimes you're high on hormones. The hormonal cocktail that we have, and when we're infatuated or we're attracted to someone. Kind of like their
Feeling
shit
good, all
smells like
that new
roses.
relationship energy. Yeah.
It's like, oh, they're so great, they're so wonderful, the first 3 months, and then
And
reality
that wears
sets
off
in.
quickly, right?
It's like, hold on, wait a minute, you're not that special anymore. You know, by that time, the goodies have been given up, and you're probably halfway moved in, because people do that really fast these days too.
Yes.
So,
I'm like, look, I know rent is too damn high, but you can really afford it. Like,
you really
just take the time. Get your own apartment. It's fine. It's fine. No, okay. Now, here's a question because I actually still get this question from women specifically all the time.
want.
What about sex? Like, how long do you wait? Like, I personally, I say wait until you feel comfortable, however long that may be, whether it be 5 minutes or like 5 weeks. But like, it doesn't matter. Do you think it still matters even?
No, it doesn't at all. I agree with you. Whenever you feel comfortable, I think the problem that women have, the struggle that we have, is that we don't want to be the quintessential four. That's the problem. So, because of the fact that we're really worried about reputation, we tend to do like crazy, silly things like the 90-day rule, which I think is a bunch of bull. I think that's the stupidest thing ever to do because
Yes.
you have to check your intentions. My thing is this: if you are going to sleep with someone, you do it because you want to sleep with them, not because of what you think is going to happen because you sleep with them. Whether it's you trying to what I call in Girl Get Over Yourself, vagina leverage. I'll say vagina leverage, but I use the nasty word because I like shock value. Yeah, you don't do that. You don't use the vag leverage, because you're trying to get something from someone. That's not what you do.
Exactly.
It's
This is
not the
not
50s.
war.
It's not pussy power like how you think it is anymore, ladies. It really is not that serious. You're really having these archaic ideas of your vaginal wonderfulness,
Yeah.
and you have to have more to bring to the table than just your vagina. Okay, so if that's what you're betting it all on, you are asleep.
Well,
You are
that's very, very true, actually. I assume that you would at least need legs too, otherwise it'd just be weird. Um, so, do you have any other like first date tips? Because we know that like on the first date, it's a very crucial time. Because like, how many people go on that first date and never get called back? I would say
Right.
maybe 70%, right?
Right.
So like, if it's that crucial, you have to be on your A game, right? Do
Right.
you have any other tips to make sure people have a great first date?
Definitely. Of course you want to, for one, and I swear I just had this conversation Friday. Kid you not. In the weirdest places at work. Where it was this big debate about the first date. And I believe that your first date should be something simple, casual. Starbucks, hell, go to Borders, or somewhere where you can actually do something light, like have like a latte, or you can go and have a drink somewhere. Preferably non-alcoholic people because you don't want to be a little tipsy. That's not sexy. tipsy is not sexy the first day on anyone. So,
That's
you
fair.
know, somewhere where you can just really have a nice sit down, you know, and you can actually converse.
Mhm.
Oh, let me throw this one in. Never.
Okay.
This is a hell no. Never ask this question. What type of men
Okay.
do you like? What type of women do you like? That is
Yes.
that's a no. That is a big no. Let me tell you what that tells the person that you're asking that question to. It's telling them that you're going to try to morph into this person that they say they want. And this may not even be you because you're going to do it subconsciously. Because now you're like, oh, okay, well, they like this and they like that. And this may not have nothing to do with your character, but you're going to do it, but then it's going to wear out. And then it's going to be a situation where it's like, oh, you don't do this anymore. You don't. Yeah, because that wasn't me in the first place. So don't go there with the whole what type of men do you like, what type of, or what type you usually date. Don't go into
Like,
that. That's
you
no,
know,
no fly land.
I never, I always looked at it as just being like, why would you ask that? Like, what purpose do you have to want that information?
Right.
Like, if you're asking for that information, if he says something that you don't think you are, you're just going to be hurt. And why does it matter what type that they like? If they're on a date with you, why don't you just accept that they like you?
Apparently you
Right?
are their type, that you're the flavor of the month, right?
Exactly. Like, if you want to know what they like, look in the mirror, right?
Right.
So like, but then I never even thought about it being like maybe that person's trying to morph into that thing. And but when I was thinking about it while you were talking, yeah, that is actually what happens a lot of time is that people will be like, well, you said you liked such and such, so I did such and such. In reality, what people want is people to be real, right?
Right. You know, it might come back for that, and you guys are free to use my comeback because I'm off the market right now, so therefore I don't have to use this right now. Not saying I won't be back on, but this is always golden for anyone, okay?
Right. Some rights reserved, right?
Right. When they ask that question, you simply say, just be yourself and find out if it's you. That kills that right there. Because you don't want anyone feeling like they have to please you. That people pleaser thing, you want to get that out. You know, it should just fit. Relationships should fit. It shouldn't be forced. You should never feel like this is another thing that people do with dating, and I'm going to say this up front. The word compromise. Don't compromise. I'm going to say why. And everybody's like, what? What you mean don't compromise? Everyone has to compromise in relationships. I know that's what you're thinking, but no, you don't. Because if someone gets you, there is no compromise. There's never a time where you feel like you can't speak your mind and you can't be genuine and you can't just be goofy and pillow fight or do whatever weird little things you like to do. Leave crumbs in the Nutella, whatever. You can do this if this person gets you. So never feel like, oh, okay, I'll deal with this, and it's something that totally goes against your nature, but you're gonna just deal with it because, oh, okay, well, this person is such a good catch or a good person, no, you need to be with someone that gets you and you get them as well. I mean, it's not just about you, it's about the other person as well. It has to fit, it has to mesh. If it's not meshing, you can't change a person for that's another thing too. So if a person you met them smoking, you don't like smokers, don't hound that person about quitting smoking. I mean, that's what they were doing when you met them. Like, you shouldn't have
Exactly.
dated them in the first place. That's a big hell no for you.
Let me ask. This is on a different topic.
Okay.
Let me ask you about long distance relationships,
Oh, my favorite.
right?
Yeah.
Because you know what? I sometimes see that this happens, and it happens. I find that it happens at the same frequency with long distance relationships, if not a higher frequency than it does with like in local relationships. Wherein we go back to the thing of being a single person, right? Wherein you're on the phone all the time, you're always texting, you're always whatever. And I get the distance makes you want to stay in touch all the time, but you still have to be a separate person still in that situation, right?
Right. Definitely.
Yeah.
I was a long distance queen. I mean, honestly, to the point where my current partner that I have now, everyone around me is like, He's local. Huh? What? Like you're there now? Like you're not out of town or anything, right? You're still here in like Broward County. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I know it's weird, but yeah. Yeah, I was a long distance queen. I always preferred long distance. Just due to the personality types in South Florida seem to be a bit superficial for me.
Mhm.
So I always like someone with a little bit more culture, a little bit more of a broader view of life in general, not just the bling and the flash and want to look good and live in BET land. That's just not my type of person.
That's
For
what
someone
happens
else,
in Miami.
right? Exactly. So for long distance relationships, yeah, you can. It's very easy to get attached in that way, where you kind of have your phone glued to you at all times, or you're Googling, or your webcam, or you're always chained to technology. Um, I would say that you need to, if anything, I mean, of course, and you're talking. This is a person that I actually was talking to someone off and on long distance. I think for like 8 years and never seen them. So, I know very well how that thing can go.
Mhm.
I think that you have to be very, very leery with that because you really can lose yourself in that situation because you're
Yeah.
so caught up in not, how can I put it, not being available for everybody else because you want to be, good to this person that lives way, way far away. But at the
Right.
same time, you're kind of denying your own needs
Yeah.
because we are social creatures. We're social creatures, and you definitely are, of course, are going to want to, if not necessarily even about sex or, cuddling or anything of that nature, but you want to be around people. That isolation is very, very dangerous. And when you put yourself in that bubble like that, whether it is, local relationships, long distance, what have you, that can be very, very detrimental to you as far as your mental health. So
For
by
sure.
all means, yeah, by all means, you have to strike that balance. Still get out there. You're long distance. You're no different from an unattached person. I'm gonna be totally honest with you in the big scheme of things because this person you're not even around to actually have that
So far away.
companionship
Yeah.
with. Right,
Yeah.
and after a while it's gonna definitely wear on you and that person.
I think for long distance relationships, I think one of the most important things is being able to maximize the amount of time that you spend together. Like you actually spend together, and
Yeah,
sort of making sure that the person that you're dating is not so far away that you can't see them maybe once a month or twice a month,
at
right?
least once a month, at
Yeah,
my
because if
minimum.
you're not, then what you're basically doing is you're having a telephone pen pal, right?
Yeah.
So like, so like, I have a friend who's up here, and he's dating somebody who's living on the East Coast, and periodically he'll go down there to see her. She'll come up to see him, and it's sort of it works. It works well, right?
Hmm.
And they're able to sort of keep that sort of like relationship energy going and keep it moving, and to keep growing in intimacy and growing as a couple. And I think that that's really important.
And if you are a person that is really hands-on, affectionate, don't get into a long-distance relationship because you're not going to be able to cuddle and touch and squeeze and hug and kiss when you want to. It's literally going to
And
have to be
they're gonna miss
scheduled,
it so much.
and you're going to drive yourself mad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
Yeah.
Did I just hit the nail on the head of something
You
there? Because
did.
you're
You
like,
did. You put a
yes.
period. You put a period in that topic, and I loved it, and I love you for it.
Thank you.
And you know what? Actually, that makes it a perfect time to end the show today.
Sweet.
I know. That went by rather fast, don't you think?
I mean, it's too fast. Where did the time go? Gosh. Goodness.
So let everybody know where they can find you.
You can most definitely find everything page related, all of the things that are page related, at pagediamond.com. That is PAIGEDIAMOND.com. You can also find my books, like I said before, and on Kindle. Nook, which is Barnes and Noble, Kobo, which is formerly Borders, as well as the Google Play Store. If you have an Android device, you go to your Play Store, download my books. The one is Girl Get Over Yourself. The other is Do Get Over Yourself. Definitely check them out. Leave me reviews. Love reviews because I like to know if I'm, actually hitting your sweet spot with what I'm talking about. So definitely let me know if I'm in the neighborhood and if I'm connecting. Also, check out my YouTube channel. I am Miss Paige Diamond on YouTube. So you can just search Miss Paige Diamond or the Hip Hop Sexpert for my sex-related videos about, oil and protein facials and the like. People tend to like those. And of course, follow me on Twitter at Original Paige. Facebook will be facebook.com/Original Paige Diamond. And if you go to PaigeDiamond.com, you'll find me everywhere. So, you can't miss it either way. All right?
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It has been such a blast talking to you.
Definitely have me on again. I enjoyed the whole experience. Definitely.
All right. Well, that's about it. Thank you so much. And I will see you later, doll.
Definitely. Peace, passion, and bliss.
Bye. All right, that's about it. Thank you so much for stopping by. A big, big thank you to my friend Paige Diamond for stopping by the show. That was probably one of the best interviews I've had thus far. If you guys want to see more stuff like this, make sure to check out the blogs at ltasex.info. Also, make sure that you click that subscribe button. If you like the video, why don't you show me by clicking like or sharing this video? If you have thoughts about any of the things we talked about, make sure to leave a comment. Once again, thank you so much for stopping by. Make sure to come back next Monday for an all-new episode. Until next time, I'm still Jerome. This is still Let's Talk About Sex, and I'll see you next time. Keep it sexy. This whole thing just fell apart at the end, didn't it? Oh, I love it. Good.
Yeah, but that's what makes it genuine. That's what makes it real.
Yeah.
Definitely. Oh,
Bye, everybody.